It's three guys who combined to play 15 seasons in the National Football League trenches. Well, two guys. And Mackey, who didn't do shit. This is the O-Line Committee.
Wow. Booney.
Oof.
Right at the last minute.
Right at the last minute.
That's a false
Bullshit.
spell.
You're 4 minutes late.
I was here. We just started.
Nope.
We just started
Pause.
3 seconds
Sensitive.
ago. We just started.
You want to keep
3
racking it
seconds
up?
ago.
We can get the New York Stock Exchange going.
Phil,
this
am I
morning.
late? Am I late, Phil?
You were late for the scheduled start of the record time.
Yep.
Yes.
But what time did we start? We just started, and I was right
Sensitive.
here in my chair. But my palms are down, Coach. I don't understand.
Sensitive. Still sensitive.
I don't understand.
Okay, so if you guys have an offensive line meeting that starts at 12:30, and you walk in at 12:34, but the all 22 isn't quite rolling on the screen.
Was the door shut? Is my question.
No,
because
you know
if the
better than
door
that.
is shut and you have to open the door and stop the meeting and everyone looks at you, then they're going to go, you're late. But if the coach is like standing at the door giving his last remarks, and you know exactly what I'm talking about because Tony would stand there and tell one more joke and then like look out in the hallway like, where is he? Where is he? All right, now he's officially fined. You'd be like, all right, well.
Well, we officially fined you, so wear it.
Amazing.
I'm wearing it. You know what?
Just
That's
a little Monday
fine.
morning
I'm
Mall
gonna
of America,
wear it.
a Mall of America party on Monday morning.
On a Monday morning? What are we
What
doing,
a
bud?
morning for you. Little Bed Bath and Beyond.
Can't tell you where I was, what I was doing, but
Getting
I
the
was
wife
there.
something
All
nice.
right? Yeah,
Getting the
pretty
wife
much.
something nice.
Well, you know, she wanted to go get something and look at some stuff because apparently Santa needed to see some things. And
Did you get her
But
one
I
of
don't
those
like this
those
color.
Build-A-Bears?
Well, we learn from our mistakes, right? We learn from our mistakes in gift giving.
dude, I'll tell you what. Never again. She just brought that up again too. She was like, by the
Dude,
way, where's my present?
So quick story there.
I showed you, right? I showed it to you.
You showed it to me. But no, I'm saying that when my first experience. So Emma really wanted a Canada Goose jacket when we lived in Minnesota, right? That was what she wanted for Christmas. And so I told Case Keenum, and I was like, Case, let's go to the Mall of America. Let's go do this thing, right? And this is 2017. So I go there, and it's me and Case, and we are scrubbed to the max, dude. I mean, scrubbed out. I'm in my Carhartt jacket, like sweats, got my boots on that are untied, but I look homeless, beard because we were winning.
Best way to go.
And me and Case are looking like he's looking at high-end boots for Kim. I'm looking, and literally the people came up to us, and they're like, can we help you? They're like, yeah, I want to look at one of these jackets, and they were like, those are pretty expensive, right? Like, we got Pretty Woman, dude. Like, we got Pretty Woman. And I was like, yeah, I know. And then, like, she came over, and then Kate's like, oh, can I look at those Louis Vuittons or whatever? And she's like, you guys sure you're, like, in the right area?
Old Navy is just down
right,
the
we're
hallway
like,
over
we're like,
here.
yeah,
Hey,
we
don't
are.
squash Old Navy.
So I ended up buying Emma this, like, black, nice one that I thought it was, and I was super pumped about it. Christmas morning opens up, and she was like, this is the one you thought that this is the one. I was like, oh, you don't, okay, that's fine. So from there, I vowed, like, I'm not surprising you ever again. Like, you just tell me what you want, and little Santa will go to the store and he'll order it off Amazon. It'll show up at the door, and you act surprised.
Hey.
I'm not doing this anymore.
We have all been down the same road, and for your information, they officially call me Santa at Gucci. Like, she was like, Santa, come here. Look.
Big
I like all
baller
of this.
5.
Wow, this guy.
Big baller 5. That you walked right into that one. That might even be that's a Lamborghini fine.
The minute I was walking out of MOA, I go, I'm gonna get so many fines today because they're gonna ask me where I was, and I can't lie to them because a lying fine is the worst. I was like,
So they call you Santa at Gucci. What do they call you at Prada?
Yeah.
you don't want to know.
Big Papa Boone.
Big Daddy. Come here.
They call him Christmas bonus.
Yeah, shit.
That's right, kids.
It's called
That's
Meat
right,
Boys
kids.
in the Gym. It's time to work, boys. Let's fucking go. See, this is why I like working, because I don't see this shit, right? I am never privy to this unless I am sitting here and she's like, so I'm going to the mall tomorrow. We're going to go together. And I'm like, fuck. I should be in the gym right now with somebody. Like, I should be working. I'm like, hey, I got a podcast. She's like, that silly thing where you talk to your friends. Yeah, man.
Yes,
that silly
yes.
thing.
100%.
Sorry,
We had a massive week, okay? You don't understand. The fucking Patriots won. I cannot wait to talk about this.
Honey, we're going to the Aston Martin dealership first, though. So, sorry about that.
My truck.
Amazing. So Boonie's doing some Santa Clausing at Mall of America. Who wants the first mic here? So many things.
Can I Can I
Go
gotta
for
take
it.
this one.
Go
Listen,
for it.
I'm gonna do this. I don't know where I stand on this, and maybe that's why this is my mic, my first mic. Deebo Samuel
Oh, I was going to bring this up.
may have punched the long snapper.
May have choked him.
Definitely
too.
Listen,
choked him. Like,
yeah.
I don't know what it was, but I'm just going to be real with you. Why are we fucking with the specialists? We have one job, and I knew the job walking in. They were like, do you see those 3 guys that look like they're delivering food? And I was like, yes. They were like, don't ever fucking talk to them. They have a very hard job, and it looks stupid and silly, but none of us here can do it, and the rest of us make $200 million.
And their
Combined.
psyches are also very
Combined,
fragile.
we couldn't do what they do. The 50 of us. Don't fuck with them. This dude goes over and straight hand like, what are you doing? Dude, here's my problem. I've always wanted to punch a kicker after he missed, but who would have thought it'd be the receiver that nobody fucks with that does it? But here's the long snapper, like, I'll take you, and everyone like, I heard GMA this morning. They were like, game ball to this guy. I was like, do you know that guy probably got his ass beat in the locker room? The minute he went back in there, they're like, oh, he's 6'4", 250. I'm like, that's Deebo Samuel. It's Deebo. There's a reason they call him Deebo, you dumbass. Like, dude, I can't believe he punched him. Never seen it. Never seen anybody fuck with a specialist like that.
Hey, I will give that long snapper his flowers. He didn't back down.
No, he didn't.
Dude,
He didn't.
And
I'll give you that.
Jake Moody, the best is Jake Moody standing in between them, like, this is my
No!
fault. He's like
No!
he's like face masking the long snapper, like, don't do it for my account. Like,
Listen, we've all wanted to do it, but he did it. And let's just go right into it. That game was
nuts.
Awesome. And Baker with the stiff arm, like, I was like, and I've been there where you're trying to grab someone, but when you grab their slippery arm, you're like, I have nothing. And the best part was Baker was like, no, you stay there for a minute and I'm going to throw this way. And I was like, this is why I love him. I do. I love him, dude. And even without his top receivers, he's still out there slinging it, throwing it, getting away from trouble, loses his left tackle. I love how they're like, dude, it hurt him in the game. I mean, the pressure went way up the minute he went out, and that's one of the things you're like, but I love Baker because he can stand in there and shake a dude off like Nick fucking Bosa and be like, watch me do you. Like, it's just so fun to watch him all the time. But at the same time, the reason that Moody did get punched was because he missed all those damn field goals, and that game should have been out of reach. And at some point, it was like, okay, dude, I want to punch him too, but we can't do that. And I think the Niners getting CMC back, there was glimpses where it was like, ooh, I like this, but then there was other times where it was like, right? I think Kittle is still incredible. The toe tap in the end zone was just so Kittle-ish. But at the same time, great fight, great war, super fun to watch. At one point, Trent Williams was fighting with Aaron Banks. It was epic. Like, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be great. He was like yelling at him, and Banks was like, okay, I'm sorry. And he was like pointing at the ground and like, you are going to go to the ground. And I was like, don't do it. There's too much animosity right now. Everyone's fighting everybody. But to get out of there with the win should have been way easier. Super fucking awesome for them. And the fact that they won and the Cardinals won just made this whole West thing just so much more fun. But we'll get into how you guys thought the Jets were going to win. By the way, how would the weekend go with everybody's bets? Because Johnny thought he was going to be slick and like go with you guys all weekend, and I was like,
well,
Johnny.
I think Jay has stumbled into last place. Boone, I think you went 4-0.
I think I'm pretty sure I did, and we can get into why.
Yeah, I went 1-3, but with the Niners piece though, Boone, you're high if you think Brock Purdy's not making $65 million.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
You're
taking words out of my
mind.
mouth. This is what I said. If I'm
Sensitive.
the Niners and I'm trying to be smart, I'm going to go to him and be like, listen, we'll give you 45 over the next 20 years. Dude, 45 over the next 20.
You're an idiot. Mute him. No. So, dude, watching football yesterday, watching the quarterback play that was going on yesterday, which was across the league horrible. But then you watch Brock Purdy and you're going, okay, Trevor Lawrence is making 55, Tua's making 55, Dak's making 60.
None of them are playing.
there's no world in which we live in if Purdy continues playing the way he is that Purdy isn't the highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
He'll get $100 million a year. Yeah, he will.
What,
well, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna go.
No, you won't get that. You won't get that much.
Here's what they're gonna do.
You went from like 35 million 2 weeks ago. Now
they're gonna go to him because
how
I was
much
thinking
caffeine have you had?
As I was
You're
watching,
all over the fucking map.
As I was watching him this weekend, I go, here's what they're gonna do. They're gonna go to everybody else and go, nope, you're taking a pay cut. You're gonna take a pay cut to play with him, and that's how you got to go.
No, I left my chews upstairs.
Go get it.
It's an unfortunate thing. Yeah, Boone's going to be on a rant. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
You got this. No, they're easily going to go to everybody and be like, listen, you're going to have to take less. Like Jake Moody, you're definitely taking way less. Kittle, I don't know that we could ask him to take any less.
Well, but here's the thing. Like Ricky Pearsall, first round pick.
By the way,
he's not making any money for 3 more years. Yeah. 4 catches, 70 some yards.
Dude,
so if you're going to pay Purdy at some point, you need some other guys on rookie scale deals or cheaper guys. And they showed with Christian McCaffrey out for half the season.
They could still do it.
You throw dudes in. I'm not saying they're as good as McCaffrey, but you throw dudes in that don't make $20 million.
Hey, technically, the Isaac Guerrero backfield now all of a sudden became super interesting. And the who's the other one? Jordan Morgan. Like you start to talk about
Mason.
Jordan Mason. There's some dudes in the backfield that it hurts me to say this, right? But when you do talk about the teams that are developing players, and you look at the John Lynch draft, one of the great things about this is I'm starting to see CMC's replacement behind him, and there's like 2 of them. Jordan Mason, you talk about Isaac Guerrero. Then all of a sudden you're kind of like, wow, there's a lot of dudes back there. And that's where I was kind of like, all right, I get it now. Birdie's definitely going to be the highest paid. Someone's taking a pay cut. It's for sure CMC, or else it's like, hey, listen, we got 2 dudes back here that we're going to continue to roll with. At the same time, is Trent Williams going to continue playing forever? No, but God, he is incredible. By the way, they gave Aaron Banks a ton of love on this one massive run, right? But it was really because Trent Williams basically just fucking took this dude over a barrel and was like, no, come down here, poof, poof. Dropped the 3 technique. I was like, my God, dude, he's so good. But same thing. He's not going to be playing forever, right? Like he's starting to come down. That's why when you look at this, it's like, man, this team right now, and I know they weren't like this at the beginning of the year because they were going through some shit and it was different back then. But what they've started to become is really exciting. And now you throw in this CMC piece and it's like, man, could they get a little bit better? Could they start to get...
That's the thing. Because there's like, we're having this kind of long-term, like Brock Purdy, long-term, can you fit this money here? But for right now, so they just won back-to-back games for the first time all season. Nice. They've just been kind of back and forth, weathering a storm, injuries. I think there's also the malaise of going to the Super Bowl and making it that far and losing, and then you come tumbling back down.
Ayuk wants more money, and Trent wants more money. Like there's a lot going into this year.
But if you look back to the 2021 49ers, and that was, I think, 2 years after they went to the Super Bowl, but they started that season. Dude, they were sitting there on November 15th, 3-5 in 2021. And it starts to click. They win 7 of their last 9 games in the regular season, and they go to the NFC Championship game after starting 3-5. And I just feel like a lot of people looked at San Francisco 2 or 3 weeks ago and said, yeah, I mean, they're still feisty, but this is it. They're gonna go into a reset mode. Dude, if you look around the NFC right now, I know that they wouldn't be in the playoffs right now if they started today, but if you ranked the teams in the NFC and said, okay, at their best, who are the best teams in the NFC? Lions are number 1.
7. Yeah.
I mean, the Vikings maybe number 2. We can have a Vikings discussion. That was a beautiful game yesterday. Dude, the Niners are going to be in that discussion.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For the top 7, absolutely.
Commanders are in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Even though they lost.
They're still in there. I mean,
even though they lost.
Yeah, you look at what the Niners have done historically. It speaks to, like we had John Feliciano on the pod last week. You know, it speaks to the culture that they've built there, of what Shanny's about, what John Lynch is about, everyone buying in, and just knowing that. I think John said it best. Like, we never think we're out of it, right? Like, there's not a moment in a game that we don't think we can come back and win. Mm-hmm. And when that's your culture and that's your philosophy and everyone's into that, you're a dangerous football team. And then you add the talent that they have on top of that. It makes me wonder what could have happened if they all stayed healthy.
Yeah, right.
Like, what could this team be if they were at full strength from the word go?
Well, they're a Super Bowl team. I mean,
they're a Super Bowl team, right? And so it's like, are they still there, or is there going to be some issues to go? But no, that was a freaking incredible game.
So, okay, let me take the next mic because all of those
Do
things
it.
you just said about the 49ers, a team that, per John Feliciano, it doesn't matter what the situation is, we think we can win a football game. They've built a culture where you just plow through and you win and you run the football and you drive the ball on offense, right?
I know where you're going.
On
with
the
this.
other side of that is my mic, the Chicago Bears and Matt Eberflus.
Yes. You've been on this dude for so many weeks. Can we just...
Yeah, you guys are welcome
Listen.
to apologize publicly to me right now. Or you
Hey.
can back Matt Eberflus and his
Hey,
coaching staff
I was
right now.
watching this game and I was thinking the same thing. I go, Mackey's going to make me eat my words so badly. Listen, I don't remember the last time I saw a game go into almost double-digit sacks, but at some point I was like, fire the OC right now. Just fucking fire him. This guy in the backfield that you're refusing to hand the ball off to that could just make you at least 3-4 yards and extend this drive, but instead we're going to go 9-man play action, let this dude sit back here for 5 fucking minutes and eat a sack. I'm like, oh my God, I'm dying over here. I cannot do this. I'm sorry, Mackey. I'm sorry. Got to get rid of them. Both of them. Get them out.
Yeah, I mean,
Dude,
if
they
I'm-
ran a fucking Q9. I'm not even kidding you. They ran
which
a
is
Q9.
a sprint out.
Nobody blocked the back two guys. And there was like no route concept on the left. I was like, what the fuck is going? I think the route was on the right. I was like, oh my God.
So you're saying like
pissing
schematically
me off.
and design is a disaster. Leadership seems to be culture is a disaster.
We're back to where we were before. Yeah, we're back to like, this is
There was a
bad.
moment where Caleb Williams was on the ground after the 8th sack or whatever it was. I don't remember the context, but he's on the ground. And one of the Patriots players comes walking over, and because none of his offensive linemen came over to help him up, which is a bad sign, as you guys can attest to. And
You
a
started
Patriots defensive player comes over and says, "All right, I guess I'll help you up." And then he pats him on the head condescendingly, like, "It's okay, son."
It's okay.
I'll see.
though.
I'll
It's
see.
okay.
I'll see you again soon.
Don't
Yeah.
worry about it. So listen, if you would have told me maybe like
But
4
my
weeks
question-
ago,
hold
hold
on.
on. 4 weeks ago that Drake May would outshine Caleb Williams, would you have believed that?
Yes.
4 weeks ago, when the Bears were actually like, this isn't too bad to look at, and the Patriots were like, oh my God, they're gonna kill him, they're gonna get him killed. That's
I
where
get
I'm
your
like,
question, but yeah.
I'm like, dude, holy shit, this has been a really weird change of events. Like Drake May went in there and looked kind of solid for a fucking rookie. I was like, wait a minute, this is the battle of the rookies, and the Patriots are making them look kind of stupid.
I've always believed that Drake May was the more pro-ready quarterback than Caleb Williams. Like just coming out of college,
But
right?
with the
Caleb
talent
was the obvious,
that they
Caleb was
have.
the obvious number 1 overall pick because of the upside and the potential and the athletic profile and the whole bit. But coming through and looking at it, I always thought that Drake May was the better like NFL quarterback. Like when I was doing the Vikings wish list, I was like, I want Drake May. Right when we were going through it,
You were pretty
And
hard on him. I agree.
I was very hard on Drake May. I watched.
I
a
see
ton
why.
Of him at
He's
UNC.
athletic, dude. He's
he can
good.
move, he can run, and so I was big on that. But back to the Bears, I really need to know 4 weeks ago, to your point, Booney, what happened? Because there's a moment that there's a fracture in the machine, right? And we're never going to know. We won't.
Do you
know,
think it
'cause
was behind the
I
scenes?
think it happened internally.
I
Right?
agree with
think,
that.
I think it
100.
happened internally. Something happened internally that fractured the machine.
Yes.
And that bled onto the game day, that bled onto when the TV's cameras are on, and you see glimpses of it. But we'll never know the full story, and that's probably why Eberflus has lost the team. That's why it's gone. Something happened
agree.
there because
Dude.
this doesn't just flip like this on talent alone. Something from play calling to personnel, and there's the video now of Caleb like sitting next to, I think it's Eberflus, and Eberflus is like smiling, and Caleb.
I think that was either the offensive
it was the offensive
coordinator.
coordinator. I couldn't.
quarterback
Was
coach.
it Shane Waldron?
I think it was Waldron.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It wasn't
That's the
Eberflus, but
OC.
yeah.
and like he's like sitting next to him, and he's like, and Caleb just looks at him and shakes his head, like that type of stuff, compounded with the DJ Moore not really saying anything to the media about why he walked off the
I'm
field.
not
but
going to
kinda-
say no. Yeah.
Like I'm not going to say no. There's something going on inside that building that is leading towards the poor performance. I guarantee it.
You know what it is? It's honestly the defense is probably looking at the offense like, come on, guys. Like, you go into, dude, I'm not going to lie. We're going into this game for pick'ems, right? And what's the number one thing I'm thinking? The Patriot way defensively versus Caleb Williams in the offense lately. What am I going to take? I'm going to take a more disciplined defense because they're going to create more havoc. They're going to know how to attack this dude and mess with him at the same time. But when you look at this game on paper, you're like, my God, this is going to be, if he could just throw it to one of these 12 guys, my God, it's going to be fucking insane. You have Cole Kmet that doesn't even show up until the end of the third quarter, and you're like, wait, where has he been the entire game? Where has this guy been? Don't know. DJ Moore? Don't know. Keenan Allen? Don't know. I mean, Swift doing as much as he can, but at the same time, there's not enough. There's not enough production. There's not enough quick throws. There's not enough quick get this out of your hands. There's not enough, hey, you're not the playmaker here. These guys on the outside are. Let's just get the ball in their hands. Instead, it's like, let's go 10-step, 2-man routes. Whoa, they'll never see it coming. And instead, we're giving up 9 sacks, and it's like, what the fuck are we doing? Why don't we spread them out and force them to just make better decisions? Hey, quicker decisions, something happening faster.
The creativity in the run game is abysmal.
You mean the zone game only? They just run
it's the
zone.
old. I feel like I'm watching the Huskers. Like, oh, it's the old run up the middle play again, right? Like, get some creativity, man. Get some pin pull. Get some whams, some traps.
That's not Shane's thing, dude.
I know it's not, but when it's not working, do something. I haven't watched a Bears game where I'm like, ooh, those linebackers don't know what's coming, right? Those linebackers are confused that maybe it's a bubble or maybe it's an RPO or maybe it's this. Like, the tendencies in the run game for the Bears are just awful.
The other thing, just zooming from like the flawed X's and O's up to the big picture of the Bears organization, this is like your friend from your early 20s or college or whatever that keeps finding the same type of girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. It's like okay, try a different type. So the last 3 times
I can't. You just don't understand. You just don't know me. You don't know me like that, Becky.
Yeah. So here's what's happened the last 10 years. This is the pattern. The Bears have a coach that they're not all in on anymore, and they decide instead of firing the coach, we're going to draft a quarterback, and then that coach gets one more year with that new quarterback, and then if it doesn't go well, we're going to find a new coach, and then basically start over in year 2. And this goes back to the last year of John Fox, like 7 years ago, where John Fox, the first 2 years, he was a disaster. The league had sort of passed him by. They go 6-10, 3-13. They should have just fired him after the second year, right? Instead, they say, all right, we're going to draft Mitch Trubisky. And John Fox, you get one more shot with Mitch Trubisky, but not like a 5-year shot.
Didn't they trade up for him too?
Year.
They traded up like one spot for him.
Gave
up a ton of capital.
Patrick
By the
Mahomes
way, can we just say that forever we always thought that John Fox had something on the family because everybody was like, how are they not firing him? He must know something. It was abysmal. It was so bad. It was like, what is going on? He's got pictures. He's got proof. He knows something. Yeah. He knows where the dead bodies are.
So they give him 1 year with Mitch Trubisky. It doesn't go well, predictably. It's a rookie quarterback and a lame duck head coach. They fire him. Okay, bring in Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy gets a few years of Mitch Trubisky. And then they decide, yeah, Mitch Trubisky's not the guy. And we're not super sold on Nagy either, but let's definitely draft a new quarterback. And Matt, you get 1 year with Justin Fields, and then if things don't go right, we're going to try again. Well, predictably, lame duck head coach with rookie quarterback. It doesn't go well. Fire Matt Nagy. Hire Matt Eberflus. He gets 2 years with Justin Fields. You know what? Justin Fields, not the quarterback for us. And Matt Eberflus, we're not too sure about you either. But let's start with the quarterback. We'll draft Caleb Williams, and Matt, you get 1 more year. This is the 3rd time that they've entered this same exact Twilight Zone cycle, and they're going to be hiring another coach to start over in year 2 with Caleb Williams.
It's a circle of pain. Welcome to Chicago fans' life. 3 years of just, oh, God, get it out. And new fan. Oh, he's going to be so much different. It's going to be great. Listen, at some point in the next 2 weeks, we have to start picking who's going to get fired and who's going to take their job. Because there's so many people right now that I am like, man, this is going to be great. Who's going to want to take over this job? Because when you look at that job, you're like, man, defense is actually not bad. And at the same time, offensively, if we could just get the ball out of 18's hands and into someone else's, maybe with a little bit of room, something great will happen. Like, you think about this. I don't understand how they lose to the Patriots when they have Keenan Allen, Cole Kmet, Swift. Dude,
it doesn't.
Have you looked at their? Have you looked at their
fucking
schedule?
Oh, it's gonna get dude.
Here's the Bears schedule.
rough.
They've lost
Welcome.
3 games in a row out of the bye to Washington, Arizona, New England. They are literally having come to Jesus organizational meetings right now.
Closed door meeting.
Right
And-
now, physically right now, people, as you're sitting in your car, they are.
And here is their schedule. Green Bay. So these are home games. Green Bay at home, Vikings at home, at Detroit, at San Francisco, at Minnesota, home against Detroit. Those are their next handful of games. And then they close home against Seattle and then at Green Bay.
Hey, welcome to the Thunderdome, bitches.
What's their second easiest game? Their easiest
Vikings
game.
at
Seattle.
easiest,
Vikings at home.
but
Dude,
that's their second easiest
Vikings
game.
historically don't
Stop
play
it.
well.
You're not into
They-
that curse. I
they
know
don't
you're
play
not.
Well.
Stop.
They don't play well at Soldier Field. They don't.
But they're going. The Vikings will be favored in that game.
They
like,
will be favored.
fairly heavily.
I don't think the Bears are favored in any game going forward.
They won't be anymore. Have you seen that offense?
I mean, there's not a single game because they don't think they can score points.
They're going to finish 5-12.
Vegas does not bet on teams that can't score points. They just don't do it.
It's so crazy to me with all the playmakers on this team. You just
But the way I look at it too, though, Boone, is even if you take 18 out and put in Joe Flacco, right, or put in a veteran type quarterback, I still don't think that fixes the issues.
no. It's the OC. We've said it.
It's a
everything.
systematic
How about
problem.
this? There's never a time where I'm watching the offense that I'm like, man, that is so creative. Or did you see that shift or motion? Like, what's going to happen next? Like, it's always just line up, go, and you're like, okay. Well, like you said, we're just lining up and running the same fucking zone over and over and over, and it's like you have to start being really creative, and you can't just keep sending different people back because eventually people are like, well, this is the same silly play running over and over. And I love Swift, and I think he's working his ass off to do as much as he can. But at the same time, it's like when we do this, when we start driving the ball, and then all of a sudden it's like, let's hit him with a long shot that ends up being a sack. You're like, wait a minute, what are we doing? The Q9 that ends up being a sack. You're like, could have just ran that. Could have just taken off running. What are you eating the ball for? I don't get this. I don't.
So good
there's
luck
a
to the
lot.
Bears. Good luck to the Bears. New Mike, Jay.
Hit us, Jay.
We all are worse people for having to watch that game in Berlin. Like it was the only show on turf, and that was just maybe the worst football game I've watched all year. I mean, from the turnovers, Dable trying to create now. I think Dable's finally reached the point where, and I thought this when he did the 3rd and 1 flea flicker, he's reached the point where he's just like, I just have to create. Like, I have to go full mad scientist mode because I cannot rely on my guys to do what they need to do. Against a Panthers team that the last 3 weeks, you start the quarterback that plays against the Panthers in fantasy football, you win your league that week. Like, they have been so bad, and the Giants just finding a way to lose that game. And going back and rewatching the tape, Daniel Jones is not being pressured. He has open receivers down the field. He's got a clean pocket, and he's just missing guys, right? And then to have them go drive and score at the end and win the coin toss, and you're like, here we go, men. Let's do it. First play fumbled. Now, I will say this. That Tracy kid is going to be a stud.
Yeah, I'm not against him. I love him. He's tough.
He's a converted wide
Stud.
receiver that's going to running back. His vision is excellent. He just has to get used to running around with people touching him all the time, right? Receivers aren't used to being in the box, right? They're used to just like, oh, I got all this space. I can be wiggly. Nah, you run through there, dude, you got hands just groping at you the entire time. Pretty much. Right? That was just horrible football. So bad. So bad.
How about the highlight I felt of that entire game was when Ed Hockley Jr. spoke in German. I was
How about that?
You know what? Yeah. Such a Hockley thing to do. It's just so professional.
Dude, my question was like, did he learn the German for every penalty? Because it was the first penalty that was called.
I know.
Right?
I wanted to know the same thing.
So part of me was like, were you planning on calling this penalty?
He probably had it
were
in
you
his ear.
actively looking for this penalty? Like all week long, you're like, I'm going to call this one. Like this is the one that's going to get called.
If he would have done the whole game, I would have been like, this is amazing. But did you see that his dad did one in Mexico
City in
and
Spanish.
he was the one that did it in Spanish?
He did the Spanish one? Oh,
That's
man.
why I was like, dude, such a Hockley thing. But I agree with you 100%.
He needs to get on the juice like his dad, though. He's got all those arms, dude.
He's got a great command, though, doesn't he? His voice.
Hockley Sr. was definitely on the juice.
He'd be like, fourth remains.
Sound that way.
Fourth. Here we go. You'd be like, oh, God, this guy. Yeah, it was bad.
I think the Daniel Jones experiment is over in New York.
Oh,
You don't say, Jay. We've been welcome.
No, but I think
welcome to Delusional Land.
I know I'm here. I've circled myself in
You
here.
texted me during the game, like, guys, I think it's over. And I was like, dude, I'm gonna blow my brains out if I have to listen to this.
I think it's done. I think we probably see Drew Lock start a few games here on the back half of the season, maybe even some Tommy DeVito. And
Oh God,
Shedeur-
But none of these guys are.
but they're not better than Daniel. But I read something about starting next week. I'd have to go look at the contract again, but I saw something on Twitter that said starting next week, some of his injury guarantees kick in for like 2027, 2028.
Oh yeah, you're done.
And
Bubble wrap 'em.
so there's part of me that thinks they're just gonna be like, all right, Russell Wilson treatment.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Well-
just like what the Broncos did with Russell Wilson. Bubble wrap him. We're not going to be on the hook for this. If you
Hey,
get
it's a new
hurt.
league, dude. It's
Well,
a new league.
Right. It's a new league. And
Sorry.
Shedeur Sanders, congratulations. You're going to
But
be the
hey,
New York champ.
I don't know that Shadeur's going to take your offer because apparently he's been following the Vegas Raiders a lot, and he is a big fan of wanting to go there. And by the way,
Well, him
do we
and
know?
Tommy-
Wait. Who's in first place right now for the first pick? It's got to be close to Oakland.
it's a-
It's a tie. It's a tie.
Jacksonville has the tiebreaker, but they're not drafting
They're
a
not
quarterback.
drafting a quarterback.
The Giants have the number 2 pick as of this morning. This is a pivotal
Will
position. The
Dion let
Giants-
him go to New York, dude? Oh,
it'd be a great market
It'd be
for
a
him.
great market for. He'd make so much
Ownership.
money in New York.
I know they've been a bad franchise lately, but like that market and that I feel like he could thrive in that market.
Oh, he'd crush.
But dude,
Well, the team crushed,
Giants
though.
are in a dogfight to maintain that because there are 10 teams with 7 or 8 losses.
Yeah, I love
It
this.
is pivotal for
Yeah.
the Giants to lose.
pivotal that
as
we
many
lose
games as
every
possible.
game.
It is.
Score 0 points in case it comes down to points.
And I know that you dudes don't want to hear that in the locker room if you're a veteran
No.
offensive lineman.
They
or
don't
whatever,
tell
but
us that
from
stuff,
a-
Mackie.
From
They
a
don't
front
ever
office
say that to
standpoint,
us.
every win is detrimental to their
The
franchise.
Do you know-
the flea flickers making more sense now?
I was gonna say, when you're in the huddle and you're like, did he just call a fucking flea flicker? Boy, we must be really trying to go for that first pick, huh? Sorry, Daniel, you're out.
Well, the only reason I say that is because the quarterback class is not good. Like
No.
it's Shedeur, and that feels like
Cam
puke
Ward.
coming out of my mouth.
I'd say Florida.
Like, it's
Or
Shedeur,
Miami.
It's Cam Ward. I don't.
I mean,
really-
like
I don't-
Nussmeier from LSU, but he
don't
looked
trust, dude. He got boat
pedestrian.
raced against LSU, right? Everyone's like, "Oh, what about Will Howard?"
Bama, yeah.
Absolutely not, right? Jaden Milroe, don't really see him being the franchise guy, right? So it's not like last year. You're like, "Hey, we can pick in the top 6 and find our guy."
no.
This is in my opinion, a 2 quarterback race of Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders, and if you don't get one of those guys early, you're stuck.
Or you're signing Sam Darnold to a 2-year deal or something as a bridge, you know.
Which is not what you want to do.
No.
Like, you want to hit full rebuild, but yeah, that's just that was a tough football game to watch, man.
Let's
that was-
let's stay in the division for the next mic here.
Yes.
And let's talk about how the train wreck that is the Dallas Cowboys has now moved into the construction of the stadium and the sunshine pouring into the eyes of CeeDee
Don't.
Lamb
Hey,
portion of the.
We knew when the coin flipped where the sun was going to be. Okay, we knew when we flipped this coin where the sun was going to be.
Sure
But they
did.
put curtains up for concerts. Like when Taylor Swift comes to town or whatever, they put curtains up and stuff. We can't just put a curtain up for 3 hours on a Sunday, but
It's the natural light, Mackey. It's bad for TV.
Yeah.
Got to have the natural.
By the way,
light
I
there
love
for
when they do the camera behind the quarterback and all you see is sunlight. And you're like, I just keep going. There's my point. Reiterated over and over of how annoying this has to be as a quarterback. Like, even on Dak's side, like, God, my own fucking stadium. I can't even see down the field.
Dude,
What
Des,
the fuck?
and then he's literally looking. He's looking for the ball, and he's just like, I
can't see it.
couldn't
I
see
love
it.
when they do that. Good. No idea.
It's gone.
Nothing.
Just
Yeah,
just looking into the fireball of sun.
I'm not going to be too critical, right? Like, I'm not going to be harsh. But my God.
Of what?
What?
Of what?
I mean, the Cowboys.
The Cowboys?
Why?
Yeah, this last Sunday.
They
Well, because
deserve
it's
all of
Cooper
it.
Rush. But at the same time, I'm looking at it like I've seen you play way different than this. Like, you have to complete a pass to extend the drive. Like, what is going on? And then at the same time, you give the ball to Zeke, and all of a sudden the ball just spits right back out. And it was like, nope, don't touch me. And I was like, dude, you are cursed. Sleeping through meetings, ball doesn't want to even be near you.
The fact that Zeke is even on the team is warranted
You know
of
what?
criticism. That's
You know-
my problem.
But also, how bad? I texted you guys this during the game. How bad must Trey Lance be? Like, honestly, like Is it a Kellen Mond, Mike Zimmer thing where it's like, I see him every day in practice,
Yeah.
that you're not going to try and put this young kid out there. You're going to roll with Cooper Rush? And I don't know about you guys, but I can't stand hearing Cooper Rush say, here we go. Like,
Oh my God.
Dude,
I thought the same thing.
cadence.
Please do not copy what he's
Because,
doing.
like, at least Dak's like, hey, here we go. Like,
Here we
Cooper Rush
go.
is like, Cooper Rush is like, here we go, it's that hot. Like, it's so bad, dude.
Hey, let's put it this
so
way.
bad.
If they didn't have Micah Parsons on Sunday, that game would have been such a blowout. Like,
But
dude,
that's
okay.
my point. Pay
Once
Micah.
again, no,
Pay-
don't. Micah, get out. Micah, get out. Get the fuck out. Dude,
Right now,
Don't
tattoo
sign.
bet. Which franchise, if you have to pick one of these two franchises in the next 3 years to win the most amount of games or go the furthest in the playoffs, Giants or Cowboys? Who are you riding in the next 3 years?
Giants. Because the Cowboys are so handicapped with cap. The Giants have cap room. So they'll be able to rebuild their roster with veterans with a rookie scale quarterback.
You can't even convince yourself.
Dude,
You're
listen,
so bad.
the Cowboys are locked into Dak.
They're both so bad.
He's not going anywhere.
Can
dude.
I get a third
And
option?
you've got your owner.
Sure,
You've got
the Jets.
your owner. They're 3. Jets are
They're
distant third.
They're my next
Distant
Mike.
third.
They're my next Mike. I can't
Dude,
wait for
when
this.
your owner is talking to the press and he's like, we were bad with Dak. I was like, you paid him $60 million 2 months ago.
Somebody needs
You
to get
wrote
him
the
in a
contract.
back room forever. Just put him in a lockbox and be like, don't talk. Just I'll get you fired.
He needs the Joe Biden treatment, dude. Just shove him
Just-
down. Just shove him down. Put him in the back.
Let him wave from afar and just kind of walk over to his plane, whatever.
Hey, stay on teleprompter. Stay on teleprompter.
I love
bud.
during the
Don't go
game
off
when they were
script.
like, Tony, tell us what's going on here. They're like, well, that's the owner's box, and that's he's pissed, and that's his son. He's even more pissed. And I was like, dude, this is great.
Dude,
I love this.
it is bad. It is bad.
It's
and
a bad time.
Micah, don't sign there. You're the only. You're like the only thing down there that is actually good right now.
Here's a possible thing. I bet you Micah Parsons gets traded before the trade deadline next year. Because
They
he's
should
got
do it
one
before
more
the
year.
draft, shouldn't
Yeah,
they?
they should
just
definitely
just reload on capital before the draft.
The minute the offseason comes, just be like, who's going to
But
give me the most?
Jerry's not going to do that because Jerry's going to convince himself they're going to be fine next year.
Oh God.
He's going to convince himself he's going to be fine. And so when things don't go well, you have to trade Micah Parsons before the trade deadline to get something out of him because you know he's walking in free agency. It's
Well, we all agree.
It's the Daniil Hunter effect from the Vikings just last year, right? Oh, we beat the Niners on Thursday night. Maybe we could do it. Now we get nothing for Daniil Hunter, right? Trade Micah Parsons to someone and get something for him because you will not be able to afford him because just him coming back changed the entire landscape of that defense.
Oh yeah.
Just that one player
He was
changed
everywhere.
everything.
Dude, he was everywhere.
The most impressive play to me with him was when they ran that bootleg with Jalen Hurts, and Micah chases all the way down to the center, plants on a dime, and tracks down Jalen Hurts to the sideline. Like, it ended up being an incomplete pass. It wasn't a crazy sack, but just the pure show of athleticism from that guy is mind-boggling. He is a mind-boggling.
Their
player
twist
to
game
watch.
went way up. I noticed that at big time. Like they couldn't contain him. They couldn't stop him. We should probably break down some of that.
A
That would
fresh
be-
Micah Parsons is a scary thing as an offensive
But
lineman.
at least we all agree that I think he's going to get traded in the offseason. I think like Mackey, before the draft, they're going to be like,
That'll all
depend.
depend on if Micah wants to go full rogue in his podcast and start dropping heads.
It's only a matter of time, dude. It's only a matter of time.
If they lose a lot of games, they'll go to the playoffs. I could see him
he already threw Mike McCarthy under the bus
correct
post game yesterday.
It's gonna.
Did he
start
really? What'd he say?
trickling. It's gonna start.
He
trickling.
basically, I can find the quote, but it's not something that like a buttoned up franchise. You don't talk about a coach that way
And,
if you're
hey,
the Lions or somebody.
What did we talk about last week when you weren't here? One of the things I said was sometimes when you see the owner kind of going off the walls, you're like, yeah, you know what? Who do these people think they are messing with us? We can all go off the walls. Whereas opposed to like, remember when Belichick was in charge and it was like nobody ever answered any questions and it was like, because if Bill finds out, you're going to get your ass chewed out. It's the same thing, dude. People are going rogue at this because from the top down, you see him going off on reporters saying silly things and you're like, you know what? I'll just say something silly too. What's the matter? He's saying it. I'm saying it. We're all saying it. It's like, that's not how it works.
By the way, here's the quote. He said he was asked about like whether he feel about Mike McCarthy's future, and he goes, McCarthy can leave and go whenever he wants. Guys I feel bad for are guys like Zach Martin and guys who might be on their last year or on the way out, because that's who I wanted to hold the trophy for. You want to win games and do great things with those type of legends who put in more time and work than Mike McCarthy ever did. Those are the kind of guys I have so much sympathy and hurt for.
Guess what?
Dude,
Guess
that's
what?
bad. I did not see that. That
Guess
is
what?
bad.
I hate to tell you, and listen, I might not ever really say this a lot, but Mike McCarthy has put in more work in that NFL than you have ever put in, Micah. Have ever put in. You cannot
can't say shit like
listen.
that.
And this is a great Mike, because people always, this is where things start getting heated. You're not winning. People are like, oh, you're just gonna go off the rails. You are a professional athlete. You need to know when to shut the fuck up and go, you know what? I'm going to take the high road because this is the boss. And if I start coming at him disrespectfully, people on this team are going to become divided. Like, offensively, you're going to have guys that are like, yo, that's our dude. What are you doing? Chill the fuck out, right? Like, you're putting him in a bad mood, which is getting him on our ass. Stop. And at the same time, it causes friction between everybody. Like, you're just this little friction of like, this guy hasn't put any work in. I guarantee you the offense turned around and was like, shut up. Shut up right now. Don't say another word.
But then the whole defense is going, well, then score some fucking points and maybe I will.
We all
that's
agree,
where
but
it all starts exploding.
I'd see what I'm saying. Here
Yeah,
comes
it
this
all starts
friction
exploding.
where everyone's like, now all of a sudden we're having closed door meetings and it's like, hey, we're all friends. Hey, we're all friends here in Texas. Everything's bigger. The love is bigger here in Texas. Let's get some ribs. We'll go chill out with our fucking cowboy hats. It don't work like that. Jerry, you better start coming in. What Jerry needs to do is he needs to come in the room and he needs to be like, this is enough. Enough of this shit. We're not talking about each other like this. I'm going to shut the fuck up a little bit. You're all going to chill out. Enough with the podcast. Let's win a game and then we'll talk about what we do after that. Dude, that was a bad quote. Just because underlining, it's like, this guy ain't shit. And it's like, dude, Mike McCarthy's been coaching the league since you were born, bud. I hate to tell you. This dude's put a lot of time in.
Damian Woody went in on Micah Parsons, and he said, who the hell does Micah Parsons think he is, still talking like that after a game? Bro, you've been missing all these games with the injury. That's what's going on with all these podcast boys out here in the locker room.
I told you, dude. I'm telling you, the disrespect to the head man outside like that is fucking a huge no-no. Huge no-no.
This is something that's going to be really prevalent going forward because with the emergence of Kelsey and his podcast and Parsons, and now I see, Amon-Ra St. Brown has one. This isn't going to go away. Like, players now feel like they have a voice. The voice is going to be heard, and there's a money-making machine to be made on the outside world while you're still in the NFL to do it. But there has to be some veteran leadership, Derrick Henry type stuff that just has, hey, this is what's okay to say, this is what's not okay to say, because at the end of the day, you're hurting the team.
I feel like we should use this platform going forward to rip all of our business partners and our other Boone, open season on your kids at the gym. Jeremiah, your agency business partners. I'm going to rip Judd.
It's just never made sense, though.
Bus
It's never a good look to be a bus thrower. Number one, everybody on the team deep down is like, dude, you've caused so many problems between all of us. Like, we're all dealing with so many injuries and issues internally as a unit, as an individual, and now you've just gone and put your business out on the street, which might not be a reflection of my business, but everyone thinks that because we're both players on the same team, we feel the same way, and now they're going to be asking me how I feel, and it's like, dude, here's how you fix it. Here's how you fix it. You ready? From now on, if you say anything bad about our team or our coaches, I'm going to fine you conduct detrimental to the team. Boom. That's how you shut it down. As a matter of fact, if you even say my team's name on your podcast, I will fine you conduct detrimental, and then I will sue you for infringement rights because you don't have my fucking trademark. Like, the owners need to come down and start being like, hey, we get that you guys want to have a voice and have fun. We all had fucking shows on Thursday. We all had fun. We all did our thing. But never were we like, yeah, you know what? I put more time in than the head man. Guy's an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, I would have never have done that because now all of a sudden you show up that day and everyone's looking at you like, really? This guy's been coaching for 40 fucking years. You think you've done more work than this guy? Okay. Like, you put yourself in a really bad position with your own teammates. Like, even as a vet, I would have been like, say somebody would have said that about Zim, I'd have been like, Listen, bud, guy's been coaching a really long time, okay? I don't know that you put more fucking work in than it. Because we go back to, like, the black and white of it. You said you put more work in than this guy. That's not fucking true at all. Like, 0% chance that you. That's what we're thinking.
There's enough stuff you can say about, like, Zach Martin and those type of guys that put in work, but I don't think people understand how much time coaches in the NFL actually put in.
They have
like,
no life.
Tony Sperano, love the guy, worked himself to death.
Did.
Right?
We
like,
love him.
I know coaches that are 50 years old and look like they're 70, right? The amount of time these guys truly put in, even if they're bad coaches, like, they still grinded to get where they are and put in so much time. If there's one thing I would never challenge an NFL coach on, it's work ethic and time put in to do it. Like, that is just something.
Because you're not in this league if you're not working. No one's going to keep you around. Like, there's no head coach. It's like, hey, what does that guy do? Like, they know everything that you're doing when you're doing it. And you're like, I'm telling you, if you ever go upstairs during a day, the assistants are making copies. They're making pictures. They're drawing pages. They're putting everything together. The seniors are sitting more in a table-esque setting. Like, hey, what do we want to run this week? Are we thinking 3x1? What are we dropping? I've sat in on those meetings where you're like, God damn, dude, the knowledge in this room is fucking insane that you would never challenge it. Because there's been a few times, even in the room, where coaches have said something wrong and people be like, Coach, be like, shut up. Don't you dare disrespect that motherfucker. I'll kill you. Talk like that in front of everybody. He knows what he said. Fucking idiot. Like, dude, I'm not kidding you. Huge disrespect to come at a coach like that, especially because the only time I've ever seen a player challenge a coach was when we were on one-on-ones and one of the D linemen like told the coach to go fuck himself. I'm telling you, the fight that broke out afterwards was like, what did you just say to my senior dog? Oh, no, boom! I don't think so. Like, dude, you cannot. Dallas is worse than I thought. It's worse than I thought there. It's
on
bad.
that, did you guys see the video of the Saints Riz head coach after he won, and that D lineman came up and was like, yeah, and shoved him in the back, and he turned around like, I will kill you.
Yeah.
Like, you ever
Touch
hit
me
me
like
like that
that.
again? And
Dude.
Like, dude, 98 was standing there like, yes, sir. Like,
Yes, sir.
He just got him by the, then he like pats him on the head. I was like, dude, you must have jacked him. Like, you must have just full on jacked him in the back because he was pissed.
How could you not be so excited, though? I mean, the coach is standing there like, bro. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And the term of a special teams coach, I go, guaranteed. Instantly, what did I think? Who did I think of when I saw him?
Prefer.
Boom.
The
I go, this is
Priefmeister.
such a prefer. For sure it is.
Just
so excited.
fired up, ready to.
Just got jacked in the back and was like, if he would have had a knife, he would have stabbed that player right in the neck, dude.
Just cut him right
Touch
open.
me like that. Got him on
man.
live TV.
Hey, congratulations to him, though, for what's his name? Renzini?
I just know they called him Riz. So I'm
Riz,
gonna call him
dude,
Riz.
congrats.
Big time. First win in 2 months for the Saints after
Needed it.
scoring
3-0
90-some
start.
points in their first 3 games.
You know what?
Hey, I want one more mic from you guys. Save Lions and Chiefs for part 2. We're going to lead part 2 with the Lions and Chiefs both escaped yesterday.
Jay was so mad. And you
Save
were
it.
not. Johnny was so mad, too.
Stop it. Wait.
Save it.
Okay.
Save it.
Wait.
Okay.
Wait. Is it time to play Tyrod Taylor if you're a New York Jets organization?
Yes. I'm so excited for going here.
Yeah, they should.
Is it time?
They should also be tanking at this point.
Is it time for them to say, "Hey, didn't work, but I can't figure the Jets out. How do they look so good last
can't?
week? But like I don't. But like why? Why is the wave so
Wait,
big? Why is Garrett Wilson crushing one week and then you can't even get him the ball the next week? I don't understand.
You know why? It's probably because you see 8 up. You take the snap. There's only 7 blocking. Oh, that's why. Aren't you supposed to be like the smartest fucking genius in the league? You get sacked on a 7-man blitz when you're like just standing there casually. You're really going to go, why does it look like this? I think we've drank way too much ayahuasca. And this comes from a guy who, I'm telling you right now, he's bad. Dude, the most Jets thing happened when he rolled
He's
out
toxic.
and I
He's
go,
toxic.
he starts rolling and I go, something bad's going to happen here. Sack, fumble. You got to be kidding me. Just the most Jets thing in the world. How about the Devontae Adams drop?
No, it got tipped. To be fair,
Barely, dude.
It's still
My
not
whole
good.
point. That is the Jets season in a microcosm right there. I'm completely have it, but one tiny little finger is going to get on it and just manipulate it enough that you can't catch it. But we got playmakers everywhere. By the way, Breece Hall, stud. Fucking stud. Trade him. Get rid of him. You don't deserve him. You don't fucking deserve him. I can't. I'm sorry. It breaks my heart because I see Jeff Ulbrich and I know he's trying so hard. And he was my teammate. And I'm like, I love you, Jeff. But God, get rid of your quarterback. Trade him. You should apologize,
over,
Jay.
bud.
You were all
Trade's
about
over.
him.
Listen,
you were so all about this guy.
You were in.
and me and Mackey were like,
Jets.
Jay, stop drinking the ayahuasca.
I was in on the Jets. I was believers in the Jets. I thought the defense was going to be able to hang them in there. I thought they had enough weapons, and Aaron was going to be able to do his thing. But I don't know. Maybe old quarterbacks, dude. Old quarterbacks is just so hard to watch.
Yeah,
like
they are.
You want to. You remember them when you were. I mean, I remember watching Aaron Rodgers before I was even in the league.
Let it go, Jay. You have to
And
let
then
go, Hoarder.
It's like Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, like that whole old guard. It's just hard to watch them, man.
Well, you
It's
know what it
just
is too,
tough.
though. It's a lot of the new guard coming in, and did you see Kyler Murray on the other side? I'm gonna lightly apologize for all the shade I've been throwing the dude. Like at some point, you have to earn yourself out of the doghouse, and I'm gonna be honest. I think he has officially earned himself out of the doghouse. By the way, Jay, do you remember Jonathan Gannon when he was an assistant with the Vikings?
Absolutely.
God, he's such a fucking goober, and now he's the head of this team that I'm looking at. Like, I think I love you. I think I love the way James Conner runs this fucking ball too. My God, son, he's so fucking sweet.
Do you think, hey, on Rodgers, so he turns
No, we don't want to talk about
41
him anymore.
No, let's put a ball on
Listen,
We gotta
no,
put a bow on it.
He
we have
turns,
for weeks.
He turns
he's terrible.
41 on December 2nd, but he still has another year left on his contract. So he has, he's signed through 2025.
Sure, Jerry Jones, tell me about it.
I
Go ahead.
don't think his narcissistic, egotistical self can stomach this being the way his career ends.
No.
So does he stay in New York and try to have a hand in who the next head coach is and just try and, okay, Devontae? Or does he try to force his way via trade, to Boone's point,
Who's going to want
to
him?
a different organization?
Who the fuck's going to
one
call
else
and go, you know what, I want this guy. I need this guy on my team. By the way, with him comes 4 other guys sporadically through the season. So get ready and save money. Dude, enough. Is Joe Douglas still the GM there? Or did he get canned too?
No, he's still the.
Okay, if I'm Joe Douglas, I've already had the conversation. Listen, dude, I let you run this team for 2 weeks, and we have fucking gone straight down, and boom, you are out of here. Gone.
Last week, they won 2 weeks ago.
On Halloween.
They did beat the Texans,
They beat
but
the Texans.
Listen, if Garrett Wilson doesn't Michael Jordan catch the shit out of that ball, which, by the way, where's my Aaron Rodgers that I've been seeing for years and years and years? Oh, man, I'm in trouble.
Why?
I'm getting a phone call from somebody.
Too bad.
It's okay.
Down.
Let's
Do
no,
you
this
have
is
to- do you have to
this
go-
is
Do you have to go?
this is a I can't read that.
Dude, you always have the weirdest nicknames for the people. Who is that?
The pudding.
The fucking man.
Is that Jim Harbaugh?
Yeah.
That's Jim Harbaugh.
Oh, you should answer right now.
Take
No,
it.
Dude,
no,
take
I'm
it,
in
take it.
trouble.
Go,
I'm
go
in
off.
trouble.
Take it.
I know I
Get
did
off.
something. No, listen, I did something.
Take
I,
the call.
I can't.
What'd you do? Spill
I
it.
don't know.
Spill the
It's leaving-
beans.
I don't know. I'm thinking
Look at-
hard, dude.
okay,
hold on. I'm
hold on.
starting
No,
to
no.
sweat.
Are we
You-
keeping this on the show, by the way?
100%.
Okay.
This is what happens when you play for a cult leader. You never fully get out from under his thumb.
I think he's leaving
Boone
me a
hasn't
voicemail.
played for Jim Harbaugh in 10
I'm
years.
sweating. I'm sweating profusely. Oh my god, I'm sweating. I love this guy. You have no idea what he means to me.
What did you do?
I don't know. He's leaving me a message. Oh my God, I'm so nervous. Let me think.
All right. Well, while
I've
you're thinking,
never turned on the Colt. I've never turned on the Colt.
What did you say?
I'll call him back when we're done. I'm seriously sweating profusely now. God, as
Dude,
soon as I saw that,
What
Coach
if he's
Jim,
calling?
Thumb
what if-
on top of Boone still to this day.
What if this
cry.
is the bat signal right now?
I'm gonna cry.
Hey, Booney, we're building something. We're
They've
building
got
something
Hardwick.
special.
They've got Hardy.
I'm
Well,
out.
there's room for more offensive
I'm out.
line
I'm in.
gurus.
I'm in. Well, I'm in with him, and I'm out with you guys. I am fucking in. Are you?
Well, if they fire
When
Nick,
I
we'll
see
invite
the
Nick on.
rhino signal in the air, I know to go running.
Okay, we're going to pause
That's unbelievable.
so that Boone can take this phone
breath.
call.
By the way,
And,
shout out to them this week. Fucking love it. I love what he's doing over there.
Justin Herbert looking like Josh Allen.
Dude,
out there breaking
Wait,
dudes'
you mean
ankles,
old
running
Josh
around.
Allen? Yeah.
Yeah. Pre-interceptions are back, Josh Allen.
Oh God, yeah, Jesus Christ.
The Chargers right now are sitting
6-3.
6-3. You know,
Crushing,
I mean, it's gonna be tough to catch the Chiefs, especially after yesterday, which we will talk about. But they're sitting 6-3. They'd be playing right in the first round. They would be playing at Buffalo. You'd have Harbaugh and the Chargers
I would take
at
him.
freaking
I would
Buffalo.
take them over
in
the
first
first
round.
round.
I think they play Buffalo this week, don't they?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, they play Pittsburgh. They would play Pittsburgh.
But they play Buffalo this week, I think.
Okay, but it would be Chargers Steelers in Pittsburgh first round.
God, that'd be. I would go.
Checked it.
I would
Yeah,
go.
boys, Sunday, 3:25, Bills, Chiefs.
Bills.
Yeah, oh
and
yeah,
Chiefs.
we can. Who cannot wait for
Let's
that?
go.
Don't worry, I'll be in a
Sign me up.
wrestling room watching it on my phone. Like, Bear, you're doing great,
I'll be in a deer stand.
dude. He came up to me
Rifle
this last
weekend.
week. He came up to me this last week, and I was I forget what game I was watching. I was watching the Chargers game, and I was super like into it. He came over and was like, "Dad, you haven't looked at me in 30 minutes," and I was like, "Dude, you don't understand what's going on." He was so mad.
The Eagles have scored 21 unanswered points.
Watch me do these takedowns.
Does he have cauliflower ear yet?
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. He just getting done with practice, and he like accidentally headbutts this kid, and I see him grab his ear, and I go, "Fuck!" And he comes over, and he's like, "Dad, how's my ear?" And he moves his hand, and there's a little piece, and I go, "Oh, God."
Oh yeah,
I go, God,
it'd be there
damn it.
forever.
Couldn't even get you to 6 with that cauliflower ear. God, I'm gonna get in so much trouble. But I'll tell you what. You should see him do his takedowns. Jay, it would rival your dance video. I swear to God. Your dance video, by the
We
way.
gotta talk about that too.
Just wait. I was walking through MOA like, get it, Jay! Get it, Jay! Look at that sweat stain. My God. He's
So nervous.
You have no idea what this guy does to my
Dude,
heart.
call him back. Call him back.
Of course I'm
Part
going
2
to.
will be a full breakdown of Jeremiah's dancing with the Nebraska Stars. Hey,
Incredible.
if you haven't already, click that subscribe button and the like button on the O-Line Committee YouTube channel. This Offensive Line Lifestyle Podcast.